people with double accounts. I just got to know who they are so I can do the relevant permissions, because I see some people just jump in and out, and I know it must be logging in from a different device. But then if one's got access to everything, the other doesn't, or one has this email address and the other doesn't, so so it's part of the process. All good. Hey Alan, how are you, mate? All right, let's put the same non-copyright music on every morning. There we are. Cool. Oh, it's not coming out of my headphones. That's weird. Thought something was going funny. Hey, alrighty, so main. Ooh. Bit of inception going here on YouTube. Yeah, perfect. Locke, how are you, mate? Alan, you feeling better as well? We need to do that coaching session. Perhaps this weekend. Yeah, cool. All right, we'll discuss that as well. I reset up the computer. Yesterday, I had a headache the rest of the day for a long, or not the rest of the day, but a long time afterwards. I was far too close to those screens. Now I'm set back a bit more from it. That's good. Okay. Let's have a look at German 40. So we've been on this steady rise, haven't we? So New York session has this pullback and then it recovers some, and then London had the pullback and then New York recovered. Yesterday was a beautiful, beautiful sell. Hey Maron, how are you? Hey Glenn.
Hi.
Hey Rob. Okay, so the move yesterday during the open. Ray, Brenda, Jake, if you're watching, how are you? Yesterday, hey Deb, Kathleen, morning everyone. Okay, so I have to do a little. I didn't get a chance to open the computer really again last night, but this was the missed trade from yesterday. Hey Nigel. So it was, the entry was on the 3 minute, and it was pretty much a perfect entry, textbook entry. And I was looking for the 15 minute just to wick higher than this candle and then drop. It wicked higher on my broker, but on my MT5, but it didn't do it on TradingView. So we will discuss a little bit about the intricacies of TradingView as well, about this this bid price. Well, normally when you're looking at the candle and where it's showing the current price is normally the bid, and then obviously you've got the spread, and that is the asking price, and then the difference between the bid and the asking price is that spread. Now, what TradingView does is it puts the current price as the midpoint between the bid and the ask. So it's slightly different than MetaTrader, which shows the bid. So what may have happened on this particular point on time yesterday is that the bid price pushed up, but the asking price stayed low. So as in, what it means is that the spread tightened quite a bit at that point, whereas on MetaTrader what might have happened is that even if the spread tightened, it would show the midpoint of the bid and the ask. So we got a slight little tick difference, and because I'm with Pepperstone as well, but this ended up being, this was saying that the high of this candle and the high of this candle is 0.7 different, and there is a chance that like my spread's around 1 pip per spread. Sorry, pip per what am I saying? My spread is usually 1 pip. There is a chance that at that point in time it went to like 0.1 and then back up to 1. Hence why we get like a 0.9 difference on the MetaTrader versus TradingView, which would have then broke the high. But that happens, you know. The 3 minute gave the entry. I was playing in the 5 minute, the 15 minute, sorry. But the 3 minute did give a beautiful entry. So I'll do a video on that just to update. So 3 minute gave a liquidity candle followed by a retest, and then down you go. Alrighty, is my sound alright? Can you guys, just gotta play it around with all these cables. Just not sure where the actual audio is coming from. Is it from the computer or from the microphone?
It's beautiful.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Now, what we had is on the 4 hour for German, we've just been recovering. So I kind of expect a little pop and then drop again. But we do have this wick to fill now. And remember that last week, actually, part of that trade I was still kind of a bit sore about was looking for these sells from a little bit higher up. But then we had that big sell-off and we just missed it. Got a little buy. I think maybe it on the run down got a little. I think maybe a little buy in here somewhere, or maybe a little buy in here. But basically, just 300 pips uninterrupted, just down. Anyway, so now as we're sort of creating these little supports and then pushing up, we've got a wick to fill. So that all makes sense to target, and then maybe we could then fill the rest of this imbalance. So I'm bullish. I think I'm bullish today. Euro stocks early trading, something that I noticed yesterday, was bullish as well. So I'm wondering if we're going to see a sweep first and then push up. That's what I am anticipating. I'm a little bit cautious to buy the breakout as usual. Because we have pushed up so far already 89 pips from the lows. No, sorry, 76. So pushed up 76. Is this the low of the day? That's the question. Have I got a trade already? No, I haven't yet. I'm just making my plan at the moment. We've got all this trend line liquidity starting, or trend like this area that could be swept. So we're in a bit of a tricky situation. Tricky situation with the time of year. The time of year that what happens is it can get a little bit algo heavy because the still like the tail end of the summer holidays over in Northern Hemisphere, and that's when most people like hedge funds and all that kind of stuff, they're actually taking, but more people are on holidays enjoying the summer. So trading conditions, I've noticed in the last 1 or 2 weeks have been a little bit different than what it was for the previous few months. And I think that might be led to the sessions. What I've been noticing is that we haven't really had those pullbacks reliably in the session. Have you guys noticed that? Like London was all down. New York was all like during the actual high volume in the stock market hours, or like the actual opens, we've seen a lot of one-sided volatility. A lot more than is normal. Normally we get a push and then we get a bit of a pullback. Whereas this is it's just been going all down. Then the change of the session, you get the bit of a turn. Then all up near the change of the session, then we get a bit of a turn. So it's actually been okay because we've had to adapt and just said, we're waiting for a little correction because that's what we're used to. And then what happened when it just kept on sort of just failing to break down, kept on pushing higher. We've still been able to get 20, 30, 40 pip moves. But then when it gets that late, I'm like, okay, let's just wait till New York session then, and then we can get that correction. So it's not like it's been that difficult. It's just had to make a quick adapt. We had to quickly adapt because all we had to do was like push our time in just a little bit later, rather than expecting like a bit of a correction after the first 2 hours. Now it's like more closer to the change of the session, and then we'll see if like this day here was just a monster day. But I'll talk about that as well because I've been digging into the reasoning behind this one. Tom, hello all. Yes, I've noticed the change in sessions. Yeah, and things will change back. And I think this is the good thing about experience, is that it took me a long time to start to recognize things, and that after being with a few of my earlier mentors, or not mentors as such, not guys I paid for their courses and then learned from them, but not actually like spoke to them on a daily basis. But what they kept on harping on about is about how one guy had a pattern, and it was a kind of like a little reversal candle on Euro US or Pound US that happened between the hours of 7 and 10 UK time. And once you got that, you would usually just get a decent run. And man, this worked fantastic for like 4 months, maybe more actually, where there was about 3 opportunities at least every single week. And as soon as you get that 1 hour candle, and it'll just be like a rejection candle, liquidity candle, or golfing candle, but basically a long top wick, small little body. And then once you saw that and price broke the low, the rule was just to bring your stop loss and just trail it. And you're focusing on Euro US and Pound US. Between hours of 7 and 10, you wanted a candle like this, or bullish, and it would just go for a number of hours. And that was pretty consistent for months and months and months. And then all of a sudden, like literally almost overnight, it just vanished. Or over the weekend, it just vanished. And I think I got one out of the next, don't know, it was a long time. I think the very last one I got was like a 1 to 10, because it just kept on going and going and going and going. And then the only time the time the trade closes was when the candle broke the high. But it sort of coincided. This is 2017, 2018. So it did coincide with Brexit troubles and pound devaluing against the dollar. So it was just one of those lucky things, but it just disappeared. Now, these kind of trends, like I have seen it pop up and it's been like pretty good for a couple of weeks here and there, but I don't trade it anymore. But I do keep my eye on it as a little interest, just to see when things will, like when patterns come into the market, when they disappear into the market. So this is something that, and then in saying that, having sort of seen these things, and now at the time when I was learning, I was like, it was just too much to comprehend and too much to actually remember. Now I've gone through quite a few little crises now in terms of the market. Like the market, if you started trading back in 2017, you've actually seen quite a few market cycles all compressed into a very short period of time, which is quite unusual to have gone through, like war, COVID, recession, GFC. Not GFC, was way before, but like on the recovery from that. But like we've seen some crazy things in the last few years, and I never really got to capitalize too much on gold or stock market movement because I was too inexperienced at those times. But I started meeting people that had seen these kind of conditions before, that then they were like, yep, this is what you do, this is what happens, this is what happened last time, this is what happened the time before, and now they're in a position that they could really capitalize. And now that's where I feel that I had to go through those times to watch and learn and not really understand what's going on, to then piece it together and then think, oh, okay, now I get it. I get now what happens in this risk on environment, with risk off environment. I understand the pairs that move more, and before then I was trying to trade everything. As soon as I shifted the focus and internalized the focus and like narrowed it, it actually, now I'm starting to remember things that have happened in the past. Now, the good thing about that is I can see, I'm like, oh, wait a second. I've noticed the like 5 days where it's done this. Oh, okay. Maybe I should like just make a little adjustment here because this seems to be what's happening, rather than taking like a month before I'd make that little adjustment. So these are all areas I'd flagged from the previous move up. So we've seen little reactions, and we're still eating through all these levels. We haven't had much of a significant pullback. And what I've had, like what we've been seeing, is that like one thing that, I mean, to say it for a long time, if we opened here for Asian and we closed here. Asian session was a little bit rangy. Then we've had Euro session, Euro open, which has been bullish. If we have London session that's bullish, New York session's easy. You get the correction then. Well, 9 times out of 10 you get the correction then. If this is bullish and bullish, there's still a good chance that London will be bearish, and then New York can be bullish. Kind of like what we saw yesterday. We just don't know really. What happens in New York is going to depend on what happens in London. So sometimes New York's easier because if London goes up, that's easy, isn't it? What to look for in New York. Even if we had a really bullish session, we'll still get a 30, 40, 50 pip correction in New York because they won't buy the high. So this is why sometimes London, you can just sit back and just watch because, well, London basically just gave me everything I need to know what happens in New York. But the focus here is London. So let's see what we can catch for this London. We've got the wick to fill. We've got areas where we were very bullish yesterday. This was a big move for a bank holiday. Just only New York volume, 146 pips. No wick candle. Daily candle closing strong bullish. So, once we've got a strong bullish candle like this, got a wick to fill. We are inside of this structure here. Okay. I don't like the gap. That kind of doesn't make things very pretty. But if we can close inside of here today or tomorrow, I'd say 16,000's on the cards at some stage. Maybe a little pullback and then we'll get to 16,000. But let's see. monthly, bit of brown over here. Don't know why it's just there. You know, monthly it pushed down a lot. We're coming to some crucial numbers end of this month. That's your TP, Marin. Oh, nice. You have to explain your buys to me. Yeah, crucial numbers to end this year. In this week, we roll over into the start of the month. So Friday we have NFP. Thursday we have unemployment. Wednesday, is it ADP tomorrow? Yeah, ADP, non-farm. Tomorrow we have German prelim CPI. We have Aussie CPI overnight. We have Bullock speaking as well in 40 minutes. So I really want to read that in terms of my pound Aussie ideas. Today probably 900, by the end of the month 16,000. Okay. Daily we've already pushed up and we created a little bottom wick, but I'm not sure if that's the low of the day. I think this Asian low needs to be rated at some stage. So let me just put that little Asian low. Oh, this is the open right now. Let's flick over to that, because some of these zones are still valid. I haven't really done. I don't think we're going to go that low. That's the 4-hour lows. Asian lows just here. 2 hours. Got a little liquidity candle. We've got no wick candle from yesterday. I wonder if we can not wick up as high and then push down. Another no wick candle. New York was just bullish as hell for like a number of hours yesterday. Okay, 30 minute. A bit of a double top over here. Little consolidation for collecting orders. Let's mark up that as well. No wick candle. 15 minute. Is that half of London? So half of New York, the high of London. It's close. It's close. So we had a little pullback in the last 15 minutes. Probably the last like few minutes. Okay, so this is the Frankfurt Open. Frankfurt Open just went straight up. So we've taken the lower Frankfurt Open and we've taken this little gap that we had in price. Can we close below this for some downside? Got a doji high as the euro high. Took your first live trade today. Taken 2 months to dive in, still recovering from the adrenaline rush. Congrats, Brenda. Good work. Okay, 3 minute. So kind of just like cruised up there, and then we had Frankfurt Open just create some bit of range volatility. It wasn't the most active of sessions. 45 pips, and then this particular hour candle is only 26 pips. We've seen that in a minute before. And I think it's more of a symptom that we're pushing up into these like previous rejection areas. So we're bullish, but we've also got some heavy rejection areas post Nvidia earnings. Okay, so I'm keen for these buys. I am keen for these buys, but I need to wait for a bit of price action to then go up. And I'm thinking today I'm really impartial to which one may play out. I think there's going to be. Can we At some stage, I think we're going to push up to about here. At some stage. And then have some sort of bounce. So I'm just going to leave that one like that. It's not as clear for me today which journey we're going to go on. I kind of like the idea. I like the idea of this. I like this idea. Yeah, I think the issue here is that I need more data. I need to watch price. Sometimes the idea isn't clear until a few more candles have gone by. Let's look at the top and the bottom of these candles. So this area was a bit of a... Why did we pull back at that particular stage? But we didn't really respect it through Asian. That's what makes this area tricky. If we had pushed up cleanly and broke above this area, and then doing this little dance here, this would be my zone. But we've already sort of gone up and down in it quite a bit. So I'm not too much of a fan of it. I prefer this area. Where's this wick? So I think this is actually going to be the area I'm going to wait for manipulation. This zone. Potentially, if we can get lower than that, I would look at this area, although it's not as clean. This area is also quite attractive. I think I prefer that actually. I'm going to remove this one. I like this red zone because then at least we can be flushing Asian liquidity as well. I'm still open to the idea of taking a sell. What do you guys think? Let's get some ideas on the table.
I've always been partial to session highs, so we're getting close to the New York and Sydney high now. If the 15-minute can close bullish, it's got a nice big tall wick to the top. Plus, we've got the Frankfurt high that's a target, and above that we've got the clean range that we've already discussed. So I do like this zone, but I need to support the form first.
Yeah,
it'd be nicer if it dips lower, but I don't know, it's pretty bullish.
It is, isn't it? I feel like it's kind of in that position that it's so bullish I don't really want to buy the high and it's so bullish I don't feel like trading against it. Okay, this is becoming an engulfing candle.
Yeah, that's the second.
And that was off of your Asian high. We had a little rejection here. I'm just going to chill, you know. I'm going to wait for candles. Like, the reason I'm not reading too much into this Asian session is that I prefer some of these candles to have formed in a high volume session. And like I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. But that means maybe it's just because the range is not very big on this, but that's a potential zone, you know. And it's only, it's only 13 pips. I guess it just hasn't moved a whole lot. That 13 pips looks quite wide today. Either way, it made sense to have some sort of recovery before we either follow path 1 or path 2. But from this area, it was going to be an up move. Now, are we going to continue going up, or are we going to correct some of this?
I still like the idea of a sell based on the daily.
Let me bring up the daily. How come? Because it's it pushed so bullish to start with.
To the left, 3 candles to the left, you've got a bullish engulfing bar. Too far, Hayden.
The bearish engulfing.
So bearish.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got an HCS with the next one up. You've got there.
Yeah.
If it can come back, it's got to take that HCS out, and then it can be then my bias would change to bullish. But until that gets broken, and this is the same idea that you had yesterday, and this is what I was thinking yesterday. Then there's clean candles below that area that can be targeted as well. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You're talking me into it. We shouldn't really be looking for buys long term until we're at least broken into this, until we've at least closed into this area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
same idea you had yesterday, and that's what I saw yesterday as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna lean into these sells. So I just gotta wait for the right price action. Good thinking.
I got a good teacher.
Sounded like actually talking to me though. Who you been learning from?
I'm open to everyone's ideas.
Okay. Oh wait, that's wrong. This is odd. Yeah, no, but that's definitely. I think so. You raised some very good points. Now I'm just gonna. I want to see some kind of evidence that we've created this. We've manipulated the market. What I really want to see is I'm looking for some sign. Here's just going sideways. We just tracked sideways for the last 15 minutes. Now, what I really want to see, what I would have liked to have seen, is price do like this with a wick down here, and then a wick down here, then push up, then break it. That to me is one of the clearest signs. Going by yesterday and how remember yesterday's study session afterwards, I was talking about like how some of these guys, if they want to achieve a price, they can push price in a particular direction just to achieve it, and then can close some of those trades or buy back into them. They make their own market basically. So that's what I'm thinking of. Like ultimately, I think we're going to be pushing up bullish, but I want to make an idea for this session to try to take a trade in this session. If there is no trade in this session, then at least this has given me a lot of info for New York session. But the goal is every morning to take a trade here, reading what happened in the previous sessions to give us that clear idea. Whilst we're just tracking sideways, that idea is still up in the air. Peter, hello. Hey, I saw your comment. I was I didn't say it at the time, but hope you're well. When I zoomed out to week view, I saw double rounded top. Yeah, because I see that as well. We really struggled at this area, but these are all-time highs. So every time we've hit, like, these were previous all-time highs. So are we going to see something similar? Only when the reality is that we're holding rates a lot longer and higher. Then that'll push price back down again. Otherwise the stock markets are pretty much. We haven't got all the data for some reason. We've only got data to 2014, but obviously German 40's been alive since a lot longer than 2014. When did the German 40s actually? $1988. So that's only all the data we have, but it's in a perpetual up trend. But every time we make, all-time highs, it's preceded by a correction, followed by a correction. Was it an extra long bank holiday weekend? Feels like it. Yesterday was more exciting than the market.
Three-minute looks promising.
Oh yeah.
For long.
For some reason I was trying to find. I was like, where's my 3-minute gone? I see just range still. We swept this little doji. Doji swept it. Little rejection wick. This one's little rejection wick. Little doji. Seems quiet across most pairs in the Asian session. Apparently some of these Chinese stocks did really well. Hang Seng. Not sure about JPY, like Nikkei. That didn't do very well. Yeah, I think I read about the Chinese stocks did all right. All right, is there any headlines floating around? Just like the British media, are they awake?
How about we formed a double top on the Euro session, that we get a sweep of that and look for a sell?
Yeah, that's another idea. But if it's breaking these highs, I'm a little bit concerned about that because of that wick to the left.
We've also got on the 15, we've got a no top wick on that candle either, so there's imbalance sitting there to be taken as well.
Yeah, good point. I reckon the Han Seng was artificial with the Chinese government propping things up. Potentially, yeah. I mean, potentially. It's funny though, it's like when I first read that comment or like that question, and then my first instinct was like, yep, don't trust them. there's no different than what the US did as well. You know, it's all. I wouldn't like. I'm complete, like the US would manipulate things just as much as they would. We've seen it. We've seen how much they manipulate things as well. This stock market seems to be immune to any of this current crisis in like cost of living and everything. So stock market's artificial, that's for sure. I mean, it's only 8:19. I think the volume's just lagging. People are still talking about what happened on the weekend when they got into the FTSE. And it's like, yeah, you know. Looks like the EPL's starting to heat things up again. Oh, winter's coming. The crisp, just a bit of a chill in there. Having their coffee, talking about their weekend. And then maybe now they'll be like, oh, we should get to work. Bit of a queue at the coffee machine or the coffee line.
Good
Okay.
morning, Kiran.
Morning, Akshay. How are you, mate?
Good, good. For my bias is I'm still bearish on German 40 based upon higher time frame, like a daily H4, H8.
Oh, I was gonna say this. Yeah, daily. When Rob was talking, I was like, he's been really listening. I could hear you in his voice. Here's your 8 hour. This candle and this candle.
Yes.
Until that's broken.
Yeah, I'm still going to be bearish. If price is not going to push to the upside, then I don't have to look for any kind of buys, because we can get our buys once price is coming back. Once price breaking this area or this high, then we can look for that buy afterward, because then we can come back. Price can come back on this candle for retest in this area to again start moving to the upside. But if price is not breaking that thing, I don't have to look for any kind of buy. I may miss the entry today, but if today's daily candle again closing like a bearish candle or attempted FU candle, then we will again moving into the downside.
And then the 4 hour.
4 hour again same thing. I wanna see if I wanna look for the buys. I wanna see price breaking this thing. If price is not breaking that high, then I don't have to look for any kind of buy opportunity. If price break above, then I can look for that buy. Then this area I can look for that buy opportunity to again push to the upside. I think Ivan yesterday said that we have a negation happen here. Yes, that negation happened, but if price is not breaking this high, I don't have to look for that buy. I mean, you can look for from buy from here to here, that 50% of that week. But if price is respecting that high, that means they want to again push to the downside, because on daily we have a HCS, this FU by FU here. So we will, if price is respecting that thing, we again moving into the downside, because you can say that this is a liquidity generated, same like here. Liquidity was generated, swept out that liquidity, and then again liquidity generated. So if I want to see push price to the upside, I want to see break this thing, then come back into this area. This is a FU candle, as well as you can say order block on 4 hour now, and then again pushing into the upside.
Yeah, we've already taken that 50% of the wick right here.
Yeah.
We did grab that. 1 hour's looking nice now for that. So where were we? Took out this low, which was No, that was 15 minutes. That no wick candle was the 15 minute before the euro open. Yeah, it's nice that it pulled that liquidity from that Asian high. Now, can I hunt those sells from here? Are you in that buy, Glenn? Because going with the volume, we could see that push higher, which would be great for your position.
The price can at least reach into the this imbalance candle here.
Where you mark? Oh yeah, that's the one that.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one,
if any buy, it can reach till here at least.
It has reacted for the second time from this 5-minute candle. So this could keep on pushing.
And hourly also, if hourly closing bullish one, we are creating HCS on hourly.
Yeah, I could see buys working out very nicely. But you would have had to have been in around this area. And at this point, I didn't see a whole lot that got me interested into this. Not that I see everything. But whatever it was here that gave clues to buy, I could not see with confidence. I think that's the key word, with confidence. So I'm happy just to what I'm doing is I'm just gathering data still. I'm really happy just to be sitting in this data gathering mode. There we go. So we pushed up about 30 pips. Nice one. Now we're taking that high. Sorry, the imbalance candle. Really interested to see what this what Bullock says for the RBA. One hour's looking great, isn't it? I wonder if this 1 hour I don't want to sell into this rising bayonet, but if I start seeing a few rejections, what's going to be a clear idea is if we start seeing 15-minute, 30-minute, probably 30-minute bearish candle. What happened? Like same thing as what happened the other day. is if we can get a 30-minute rejection candle followed by a retest of it. Now we'll be in alignment with the daily again. Then we can see that nice, really healthy push down. Definitely gaining a little bit of, we're getting some movement here. Jeez. Far out, it's exciting when these candles move fast. Wish I was in the trade, but it's not going to tempt me to do anything. I've got to stick to my plan. My voice is echoing, so struggling to hear you. Is that happening for anyone else?
No, it sounds fine.
No, it's good morning, Hayden.
Okay. No, I think the consensus step is it's must be coming from your end somehow. Is there a second stream on, perhaps? Sometimes I accidentally have opened a second page and it's like it's just like there's one playing with a slight delay. It only just started to give. Oh, okay, yeah, and everyone seems to be fine. All right, we've got this wick to fill. What a push, man! Beautiful. Gosh, I didn't see a really nice way of entering. I mean, there was a clue here, but it's not something that. Yeah, that candle's a bit sus. There's definite delay in volume though. Price just pushed sideways, and then basically in the last from my 8:20, took 20 minutes for them to get their coffee and then put their trades on. So let's extend these zones across. So this is that first zone. If that liquidity candle had a retest, you'd be taking along, but nothing. Yeah. I don't like the way that this candle closed either. This one. I mean, 5 minute. Go on.
My smart charts is frozen on the DAX. Everything else is moving.
Oh yeah, there's no surprise there.
Does it hate me or what? What's it doing?
You need to get TradingView.
Need a backup plan when one's frozen.
It's nuts.
You just see like nothing happening on the candles, but the price is moving. You're like, hang on a second, something's up here.
Yeah, especially when you pay $150 a month for it.
All right, so we're pushing up. I really think this wick will be filled now. It's going to have another 10 pips. Take this wick. Be very careful to see if it blasts from there. But above this wick is where I'm looking to. Yeah, let's see actually. Can be very tricky getting into a sell when things are pushing so bullish. So usually when it's like this, unfortunately, it means that I need to be patient. Because this scenario is the least probable. Normally it gives you a few like little like that before it pushes down. Let's see. Just no bottom wicks. Look at it. It's just straight volume. Just pumped straight up 70 pips. $63 pips.
Above that H4 wick, we've still got a fair value gap to the left.
Indeed, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking. I was like, above this wick, I'd like to see if there's a little correction opportunity, but like we could just blast because of the gap. Had your order on 50% of that M 5-minute candle. Oh, you did. You got in this, George. Or you had your order. You removed it. Oh, it didn't trigger. Oh, shoot. Well, the good thing about German is that it's just great that we know quite reliably between this time, 7:45 to 9:30, that we get a good move, isn't it? Like, what other pair apart from gold can you say that in an hour and a half time there's a very, very good chance that we see a 70 to 100 pip move?
US 30 in the US session.
Okay. outside of indices.
Same difference, but
outside of
it's
indices.
exactly the same setup though.
Yeah. Outside of indices and gold.
We're all asleep at that time down here, Glenn.
Oh, what are you talking about, mate? You got 2 hours up your sleeve. 2 hours on me at least.
Yeah. Yeah, WA, Asia, India. You guys have got good timing for both sessions. Well, better than East Coast for Australia, that's for sure.
I'll have to fly over and bunk with you for a little while, mate, so I get a few extra hours sleep.
Yeah, well, we've got a big couch now. Oh, that's you talking about Rob?
Oh, either. It'd be even better. I'll come over you, and then we can. And I can really. I don't have to stay up until midnight and trade.
Kathleen got TP on DAX is 30 points. Went long before London Open. Got scared. Thought it was going to stop you out. Then quickly came back up. Beautiful. Yeah, held strong. Dan's got the dab. How are you, mate? How's your hand going? Man, I think we've got one carload left of stuff to bring across. So exciting. The move is almost we've got to build some things here. But we're almost in. Oh, Deb, audio's good now? Yeah, I think you must have accidentally had a second stream running, and it was creating that echo. Because maybe it was like a few seconds behind. Oh, that's why I let found my running watch. I was like, oh, I'll charge that with ideas to go for runs, and now it reminds me every time I'm sit still for too long. That's why I let it run out of battery.
Actually, I reckon we should all go to India so we can open a trading floor.
Yeah, actually, trading floor.
Yeah. Yeah, we can have a physical trading floor.
Yeah.
I've closed 80% of my position.
Not bad. Good move.
Stops at break even. I've got take profit set at the fair value gap, and I've got a pending order setting up there for sells, but I'll see what happens between now and the next hour. And
So
scale a nice pullback.
My question to you is, when you're moving it to break even, Also study the price action. Where does it stop making sense for that correction? So if it is like, say, wherever you got in,
Yeah.
or even down here, wherever one of these markers that you got in, just because it's your entry doesn't mean that should be where you move your stop to. Think about price action, that where does it now make less sense to hold a trade if it starts breaking X point?
Well,
So even if it's slightly
at the moment, as it sits at the moment, I've got a 1 minute well, not even HCS. We've got a 1 minute lower high, and it's giving a nice pullback. So if it stops me out at break even with the tiny little runner, I'm comfortable with that, because my stop loss is kind of just above the euro high, just below the euro high. So if it bounces off the euro high, then I'm safe. If it breaks the euro high, then it's going to keep coming down in my eyes.
Okay, yeah. So like, this is where, like, if I've got a trade and say I entered here, I would say there's probably a good chance it takes out that no wick candle, so I might leave it like here.
Yeah.
Or if it's, sometimes I don't want to leave it at break even, where I try to actually anticipate, we know there's going to be a pullback. So let's just see then where that little, where can I actually add, like, even like maybe make this trade just a tiny bit little safer, that I could survive a pullback. Because sometimes your entry is not in a good spot. So just moving it to break even, more than likely you'll get break.
I'm in front of break even, so I'll get stopped out for a small.
You're in front of break even. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so like, it doesn't have to be break even. Like, if you've closed partials already, then leave it, so like try anticipate where it makes sense to move your stop loss to. So you're moving your stop loss based on price action, not based on your profit loss. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. Like, it's not for, I'm not targeting you or anything. I'm just thinking, putting it out there, that when you move to break even, also have that idea, that question. There's Ivan's idea. So manipulation, come back, retest, keep going long. Yeah. Oh, there's me drawing at the same time.
That's just taking out the Frankfurt high.
So this could be the sell to buy, retrace, buy again. Yeah, Ivan, this could be a good one. Retest this area. Or have we picked up enough liquidity from this zone to have a big push down again? I was very tempted to sell from here, to be honest, and then I really had to think. Someone asked something and I started talking, I think Glenn, you were explaining something, and I thankfully avoided just taking an impulsive trade. I mean, it would have worked, but it's not the way I want to trade.
That got within 2 points of the 15th 900 level.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit more on mine, maybe different broker. Pippage.
My high was 1589.55.
Because sometimes when you have these more round numbers, there are orders scattered around them, so you can see like the actual number itself. You can see reactions just before or just above, because they're sort of scattered around that number. Can you imagine if this hour completely flips bearish? Was there anything on the 1 minutes? Not that I was...
No. It just made a lower high, that's all.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at. It's made a double top.
Yeah.
It's made a resistance, confirmation resistance, and I was just looking at, hoping that next candle would have taken the high of that bullish candle. And I had a trade drawn up on TradingView, but I didn't take it because I just wanted to take it high. It would have worked out quite nicely, but you know what?
Yeah, I mean, after the acceleration, we often get that retracement. That was definitely an acceleration.
Yeah, like on the 1 minute on this push down until the last two candles, we have no top wicks on the last 1, 2, 3, 4 candles.
No top wick. Yeah, same as the way up.
Yes.
I think it's time for me to go grab a coffee. I'm getting very tempted to do something here, but I don't want to. Oh, the parking inspector's back. These guys, man, since I've been here, they hang around this area like a bad smell. Now they're gonna go and bomb people with their fines.
As long as it's not your car, Hayden, you're right.
Yeah, no, I've got a designated spot where I've got the office set up because we're on the 3rd floor, but I can like see all the people walking underneath me. I can see the parking inspectors. Yeah, I hate them, man. There's nothing that makes my blood boil more than getting a fine.
Straight out revenue collection.
Yeah, I thought I was safe. Last time I got a fine in this country, no, I've got a few fines, but the last time I had a parking fine was when I couldn't find a park, and then it was like literally going to be there for like if you go to the shops in Australia, you know, you don't pay for parking, do you? And
No.
I was literally, my mother wanted, when she was over to visit, she wanted to get, there's a particular shampoo that she wanted, and this hairdresser had it, and I was like, okay, you know, there's one in the city, they didn't have it, they suggested this other one was a bit of a drive, so I was like, we just specially went over there, and I couldn't find parking unless you paid for it, and it was like minimum 1 hour. It's like minimum 1 hour for literally 2 minutes. So I just said, look, I'll stay in the car. There's a guy arguing with her now. You go in, I'll stay in the car. I'll just have the car running. And she went in, got the shampoo, came back, and it was she was taking a bit of time, and I messaged to say, what's going on? And she said, oh, it's just, there's a trainee here, she doesn't know how to use the till. I was like, oh, all right. But they said it shouldn't take more than a few minutes, so it ended up being like 6-7 minutes. So I moved the car off to the side, and then she came back and then hopped in the car and went, and everything was all good. About 2 weeks later, I got the fine in the mail. So they fine you by cameras over here in some of these spots. It's not even a person. Like, I thought I was safe as well. That was the bad thing.
That's pretty rude.
Yeah, I couldn't really contest. I was like, damn, like I knew I was in the wrong. So annoying though. Like, kind of really forced to pay for an hour parking, even though I need to be there for a minute. Then, what they do as well, they say if you pay your fine in the first 2 weeks or something, it's half. So I'm like, damn it, like they're really good. They're really playing on my emotions. Yeah, there were signs saying no parking, but I figured the car was running. Am I parked?
Probably safe with a real person.
Yeah.
In Australia, to be considered parking, you need to be in the same place with the engine turned off for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's the interpretation I had. So the car, because the car was running, and I moved it. I moved it away. Yeah, there are. No, it says it's this area is secured by CCTV. Oh, yours is higher actually. That's the one we're looking at. Or was that far to the left?
Yeah, on left side.
Yeah, okay.
And the second is where the price got a reaction from that area.
Hmm. Yeah. My brother got it. Like, my brother's using my car in Australia, and so all the fines come to me, and he got he got a fine for parking in a disabled spot, and it was like $697. I was like, David, I said, why did they fine you? You are disabled. Mentally disabled if he's going to be parking in those things with no, like...
Keep getting fines in my car, you will be disabled.
Yeah. He's had seven speeding fines in the last 3 months. All under 10 kilometers. So it's 1 demerit point and like $100. Yeah, Marion, you can just trust it was David.
Right, it's a 50-50 pullback.
Is that why you didn't have a car before? No, his car, he basically trashed it. So I'm really not happy that he's got my car. There's already a little dent in there, so I was like, I want to sell it. So now I gotta get that dent fixed. I've got to trust him to get it fixed. Well, that's what he suggested it, but now problem with Dave is that getting money from him. So he'll say, yeah, he'll buy it, but then from him, it needs to be all in cash, all straight away. I don't want any of this, like even for these fines and tolls, like the fines are fine. I just pass him straight to his license. But in the last like few months, he's put $1,400 of tolls on the car, which is just like, I tried to put it to his credit card, and then he gave me a debit card, so it pretty quickly rejected. And then so the guy had to put it back on my credit card because otherwise it was going to be nasty. So he owes me $1,400 in tolls, which trying to get that out is like $100 here, $700 here, $400 here. Like, come on, man. Just plus he'll want family rates.
Still probably cheaper than the anguish.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll give me the money. That's the problem.
What car is it?
So Mazda 3. Like when I first, cause I bought it brand new, and like when I was young, and I was like, the guy is a great salesman. He's like, do you want the fast one or the slow one with that fast one? So I got it with it's like the 2.3 liter engine instead of the 1.6. So it was like, it really, like I loved it. Had the sports clutch in it, and now they're like, at the time I never realized how popular they were, but now they're everywhere in Australia. I still look at it and think like, it's got a soft spot for that one. But that car is old now. It's like 2007 I bought it. But it only got, so 2007, but until he started driving it, it only had like 160,000 kilometers on it. And I'd kept it pretty, like I'd always got it serviced, and anytime there's needed fixes, fixed it. So it was good enough condition, it was just old as hell. So I'm not going to get anything for it, but now I'll definitely get nothing for it. What are the thoughts? So coming back to where it started now, that's kind of put me in a tricky situation. I'm only looking for these sells, but I think what I need to see is this break, and I'm going to go for a late entry. And that late entry, I want to see price retrace some, but then I want to see it slow down and not continue to correct. Because I think that coming down here, Asian low now is the focus. But breaking this low like we just have, I'd like to see if early sellers will getting into this move, and now they're gonna pull back on them a bit and then push down. So I'm waiting for that. I don't want to chase this, but I'd really like to take a pullback sell. But it could just drop, man. This has gathered so much liquidity from up here.
What?
There was an opportunity with that
This candle.
attempted engulfing candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I looked at that and I was like, this to me is now 50-50. Are we going to hold and break this high, and that could have been a trigger entry, or breaking this low? I just hesitated.
Me too.
Yeah. This owl candle, now look at it. At one stage that was super bullish. That fast move, the false move. Fast move, the false move.
Dropped 40 pips in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, some serious volume
Yeah.
pent up. I was just sitting there like just twiddling my thumbs.
Asian 50.
I guess what's happening with Australia? I'm gonna have to save this little speech. Climate change central banks. Oh, that'd be a good one. Cool. Save that for some exciting reading. Yeah, so I'm gonna grab a coffee, and then hopefully price will set up something, some sort of move. Whether it's going to be a cowboy 20 pips, or is it going to be at the moment I would be entertaining, because of the timing and that. I might even consider a small little 20 pip cowboy from this zone. But the cowboy's still going to be planned. But what I'd want to see a little bit of consolidation, and then maybe fast move down, and then if it pushes down again, then up for 20 pips, 30 pips. Oh, good. Has anyone seen that Barbie movie?
Not in my cup of tea.
We went and saw it a few weeks ago, and there's Ken sings a song at the end. It's pretty catchy. So it's all about like the movie's got a lot of messages in it, and it's Barbie lives in Barbie world where all the roles are reversed, and the men are just like there to be, Ken's whole day is made if Barbie looks at him, but every single job is done by women, and the men have got no role, and they go to the real world, and Ken's like, "What is this? Men have power? Someone asked the time. I've got a purpose here." So he loves it, and then he sings this song where he's like, he's just Ken. He's just sick of it. If he was anyone else, he would be a 10, and no one gets his Kenergy. But the song's funny. So like I was putting doing my IKEA furniture yesterday, putting the Ken song on. Now Sarah's like, I can't get that bloody Ken song out of it. She hates it.
Take your word for it.
You got it's pretty funny. You should check it out. Oh, it's the audio. I guess they wouldn't be able to put. Mattel coming out with a Barney movie, planning to make a horror. Holy.
Barney, the
Who's-
dinosaur.
What is
Purple dinosaur.
Oh, this is the making. That'll. It's like crazy. So I don't know how this guy must have been on acid when he's doing this. Oh, I don't want to watch the making of it. That'll sort of ruin it for me. Barney the dinosaur. All right. Well, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna get a coffee and I'm gonna let it settle down. I'm kind of a bit sad about these cells, but it's okay. There's always another. I'm not too worried about it. But I'm gonna get that coffee now. So let's see if we
I
can
talked
set up.
you out of it, Haydos. Sorry, mate.
No, all good, mate. No one talks me out of whatever. It's me that pushes the button. All right, I'll be back in 5.
Hey, Rob.
Yep.
Mate, I had a this afternoon. I was setting up a pending order. I actually had it at that week. I was thinking of last night's conversation, putting your entry where you'd normally put your stop loss. So I put my entry up at 15,930 or whatever it was, and it ended up reacting off my initial trade position.
Yep.
Yeah, recently I also started looking at where retail trader gonna take a buy. For example, here, like this is a resistance for them. Price close above on this candle, so they wanna take a
Yes.
buy when the price broke the high here.
Yeah.
Yeah, even on the 4-hour, we did the same kind of thing today. 4-hour close strong above the previous resistance, and immediately next candle break that high, and then again start pushing to the downside again.
And it didn't break the high of that other bearish engulfing bar either.
The H4 one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fell short by a couple of pips. So H4 is still open. It could still flip bullish.
Yes. We still have like a 2 hours, so we can still flip bullish. But let's say if this 4-hour is closing strong bearish candle, FU candle, then we will again pushing to the downside then.
Yep.
Hourly close strong FU candle.
Are you in anything, guys? Just logged in.
No,
No,
it was in longs earlier, but I've closed them off.
They've all sneaked past us here.
Sorry.
Yeah, US 30's dumped off 100 pips as well, same timing. Almost identical price action.
Is there any news?
What was that, Rob?
Is there any news driving that?
Holy smokes.
Oh, I don't see any news, any high impact news for anything, not on financial years, not and anything on the Forex factory other.
Yeah, it doesn't line up with the RBA stuff, so that doesn't make sense. Yeah, S&P 500's dropped 145 pips in that same little bit, but S&P's already taken out the Asian low. I'm wondering if that was just a sell to buy. Back in a sec.
Alrighty, back. So I wonder if we can, if this was the move up, this was the buy to sell, to take sells from this area. Because clearly something happened here, which led to this big fast move up. So buy, sell to buy, liquidity wicks, sold. Can they sell again? Yeah. What's tricky is that we are in a lower time frame uptrend. Oh, not, sorry, not like, as in like 4 hour daily, we're in the downtrend. Hourly, we are in an uptrend. So we don't have a real, we're not really in sync with a lot of things. But from a session point of view, being Tuesday, pretty much the first trade I'm going to be actually executing on, I'm thinking I'm not going to overexpose myself because I don't really know where my stop loss is. As in, I do know where my stop loss is. My stop losses are out 15, 20 pips. But I don't really know where's a really protected spot here. If that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for price to take out the Asian low. So that'll still be a 50 pip. Not quite 50, but we're in the ballpark there. 43. Cool. What's this news? European shares opened high on Tuesday. Mining stocks leading gains, tracking strength in metal prices. While NN Group soared after reporting first half results. Just added news. Reason for sudden move up, you suspect. Let's see. I'll read to see what they pulled out of her report, and then I'll read the actual report. I don't really see that where that news came from. I don't even know. I've never even heard of NN Group. NN Group. Germany. Netherlands. Insurance asset man. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if that would have much of an impact on German. Glenn, sorry, I was doing something else when I saw you putting ideas up. Can you redo that or talk me through that? You're just looking at different points of interest, zones of interest. Okay, I'm going to take a sell, but I'm going to pop it just over here. Because I don't mind these 3 minutes closing bearish, little wick fill, no wick candle, probably going to have another push up. Now, where did Akshay mark? That was near the tops of it. Okay, so slightly different zone that I'm going to look a little bit closer at. I want to look, I'm pretty sure this is buy to sell, pretty sure. But I also want to see where maybe there's a little sell to buy to sell. And then maybe it's not going to come back. Nah, hopefully it does. 1 hour candle is only just 10 minutes into it. Are we making a top wick on this 1 hour candle already? Or can we do one more push up for the top wick and then drop? We do have a bit of an imbalance on the 1 hour. We just want to see the 15 minutes going to come to a close. Oh crap! I've got a webinar at 9:30. Forgot about that one. Okay, so I want to explore this area a little bit more as well. The tops of these candles. Yeah, George. Yeah, that's my price action. Okay, so both of these areas. So reason why I'm looking at the tops of these candles as well is that I'm going to look for that sell move inside of this area. But if this is truly, if I'm looking at this area too, that I'm going to pop my stop loss above it. So it's going to be a little bit wider than 20 pips. Unless I take my entry. If it takes out this no wick candle and pushes it into this zone, then I can still keep it 18 pips, 17 pips, 18 pips. $17.5.
That's around the 50% of the Euro session, somewhere in that area.
Sounds good. Confluence. Yeah, right there. All right, going to see. All right, we'll see then. That's the idea. So we had a much higher push up than expected. We didn't have that correction. So now we've sort of fallen down and hoping we do something like this. Then we could maybe push up. Entering down here really affects the risk reward. So I'm not happy with it. Entering low. Yeah, I would say that move up here has less to do with business. I'd say it's more to do with the correlation between business and the euro. I don't trust this news too much in the trading view. Where is it? I'm not sure how filtered this is. Okay. I don't really want to take an impulsive entry, but I don't have time to wait too much. So I'm going to keep risk really low on this one because we are bullish. We just had a correction. Preferably, I would see some rejection candles, and then put it above it. I literally I've got to go in like 5 minutes. So if we can pull like a little 20 pips out of it, I'd be pretty pleased with that. If we could break this doji high and then start breaking the low, that'd be even better. And just like delaying the entry. Because there is a little move up as well that's happening. push it as long as I can. Oh. But otherwise, what I might have to do is not particularly liking that entry. Yeah, it's gonna be. That's what I was worried about, taking this impulsive entry. This is an example of a cowboy entry. Just took it without waiting for candles to react. It was a tricky situation being in an uptrend on the hour. One bearish candle. And then taking it from this area. Oh well. Kind of annoyed me. Hopefully we can recover. I doubt it though. I hope anyone didn't risk a lot on this one. Bloody hell, just hanging in there. I reckon it's literally just got my zones in the wrong spot. And the reaction might actually even happen from around here. Oh, come on. As in, like, this should have been where the entry was rather than the stop.
Do a stop above 850.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I did these zones. Did these zones because I put my stop above it. Oh damn! It's gonna.
On that London session, please, Hayden.
Sorry, what's that?
Can you throw your fibs on the London session, please, mate?
Fibs.
Yeah. Or your game box or whatever. Oh yeah, just wicked above a 50%. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
H floor is turned bullish, but just.
Yeah. So much volume to the upside. That's why it's very dangerous what I did.
It did need that pullback.
It needed this, and
Yeah.
I just feel like we haven't really even broken structure too much. We've broken the euro low. I thought Asian low is probably a good target. I'm just concerned I've got my zones wrong. As in, like, zones wrong, that should be my, this, around this area should have been my entry.
Yeah. Off that last pullback's low.
Yeah, because, like, this could be manipulated. And then, this, like, because this was the buy, and then this area was the sell and sell. So I was thinking, which one do I put my entry in? Do I put my entry? Because I thought I'd missed it. To be honest, I thought I wouldn't get a trade in, and I think I wanted that trade after sitting here for 2 days. Now I was wondering, do I take it from zone 1 or do I take it from zone 2, just being above it? if I was in zone, obviously in zone 1, I'm not happy right now. If I was in zone 2, I'd be pretty happy right now. So it's funny how like just where your entry is changes things. I mean, I could just go now and just book a 9 pip loss. But I kind of think this is a good chance, but I don't want to be distracted now for this webinar. I'm going to have to close it because I'm going to have to go. And I don't want to have this still running.
It's falling in that little 1 minute order block, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna can it. I canned it. So I'll leave this thing, but I closed it. I've closed this now, so I'm gonna leave it on so leave this on so I can review it after. I took a little loss on this one. Hopefully it can recover, but I've got to scoot. I've got 1 minute to get into this, to start this thing. So, all right, guys. Well, kind of danced around all the opportunity, so it's a bit annoying. Anyway, trade safe.
Yeah, good session. Cheers, Hayden.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Hayden. I'm
Alrighty.
at work, so I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Alrighty, gotcha.
Thank you.